AD, hello. Come on in. It's the cleanest it'll ever be. This is the biggest room in the house. It's the living room. And I wanted it to feel really expansive. So somebody could be playing Rummy Cube over there. That's really the Rummy Cube table. And people could be sitting around the fire here. You know how you just imagine it? And then someday you have a perfect moment where it actually comes true. That is like a kind of moment. Steve and Brooke Giannetti and I have worked together for a long time. And I sat down with them one time and said, okay, I know exactly the house I want to build. And I described it to him. Steve sent me a watercolor of it, and that is exactly the house we built. We so didn't change much that I started panicking in the middle of the build, and I thought, I never even made a Pinterest board. I never even showed him pictures from a magazine. I just told him what I wanted, and he did it, and what if I hate it? But it turns out I'm really, really happy. The paintings are both by Rainer Andreessen, is Victor Garber's husband, and in that one, there's a little photograph of Victor and me painted into the painting, and so it's extra special, dear to me. This is by Reed Bradley at Judson Studios. He is the son of a friend of mine, Marla Frazee. She's my favorite children's book author. I wanted it to be evocative of spring in West Virginia. And you see like the morning glories coming down and a little bit of the mountains in the distance. A special feature, especially in the summer, is having these doors all the way wide open. Here we have it, indoor, outdoor. This isn't California, I don't know what is. The only problem is, if my kids are having their class pool party here or something, it's very hard to keep wet kids out of the house. I have to really just stand guard and say, get away. I'll look over and there'll be two wet teenagers playing the piano and I'm just like, okay, don't look. I'm so excited to show you my kitchen because since the day I moved in, this is the first time ever that the counter's been clean. Look. It's never gonna look like this again. Please memorialize this. I love a wood kitchen. So the house really is like being inside a treehouse. Here alone with my kids on a weekend, I cannot tell you how often I make something and I'm just feeding them as it comes off the stove because I'm not very good at things coming out of the oven or off the stove at the same time. So it is just like, have your vegetables, now have your this, now have your that. It's all out of order, but they don't seem to mind. So I knew when I imagined my favorite kitchen ever in my mind that it would have an area dedicated to baking. It just makes it so much easier to have it all in one place and to know where your different flours are and your chocolate chips. Chocolate chips are the most important thing in the whole house, and I could tell you where they are. All of my fireplace grates are done by Wallace Metalworks. Usually there's a dog sleeping under here. It just adds so much coziness. It's unbelievable how nice it is to have a little bit of fire going in your kitchen. This is the dining room. When I first moved to LA, I made friends with a photographer named Laura Porzak, and she's turned into this incredible fine arts photographer. Clearly, I'm a fan of her stuff because this is all Porzak. Brooke Giannetti and I had a blast looking at light fixtures. I can never figure out dining room lights, but you know what? You live with the choices you make, and I think I'm good with it. We really eat at home almost all the time, and we eat in here pretty regularly, and I put doors on this room so that it could be a meeting room. And actually I have a lot of meetings in here. I work from home if I'm not on set. So the first room I described to Steve, I said, I want a library that is a super awesome, cozy up with everyone TV room, and I want it to be like a deep gray blue. This is what he did, and I think he kind of nailed it. When we were first envisioning the room, I said, I know the couch I want, but it's a BBDW couch. And this is it. And it's comfortable. And I just like the look of it. It's just pretty. This is everyone's favorite place. You just don't need some huge old screeny room. We're pretty happy just being right in here. Feet go anywhere. I am so not fussy. There are feet, there are dogs, there are shoes. If you're gonna build a house, you have to live in it. If we were gonna have a library, I wanted it to be still light. So it opens all the way, and then it can go straight out to the garden. Here's our fireplace. And this is our clover, because it's supposed to be good for the earth. It's so easy, we just threw down seeds, and I just think it's cheerful. I have an owl box, and I'm waiting for an owl to discover it. Come on. Look, my very first cherry ever. Oh my gosh. Look at my little orchard. I love it so much. We have apricots, figs, and cherries right here. And then we have peaches, nectarines, apples, and they are all fed by gray water because water is hard to come by in California and I don't want to use more than my share. So the gray water system, it's a big tank and it collects all the water from the washing machine, the dishwasher, and filters it and waters very specifically what you tell it to water. But there's a lot of phosphorus in gray water for some reason, and I guess fruit trees thrive on it. So we just said, add more fruit trees. I love that you can come out here in the middle of the summer and find a snack. Growing up the daughter of a farmer and having such connections to my family farm, it just truly thrills me. So pretty much everything here is edible. All of the bushes are blueberry bushes. And actually, I'm gonna get you a blueberry. I see one. Here you go. You wanna see my vegetable house? It's so cute. I'm all about herbs. Mostly I want thyme. I cannot grow enough. My kids and I love kale chips, so we always have a lot of kale. It's tomato season, it's green bean season, and then just natural flowers that pests don't like. Because, you know, you gotta be organic. This is my favorite spot to sit. Well, I have different favorite spots. I sit in this little house behind us in the morning with coffee. Here, I'll act it out for you. Isn't it so nice? And then, if it's nighttime and I have friends over, I'll show you. This is where we like to be. We turn heaters on, fire, blankets, cozy. We do have a bird's nest in the passion fruit vine right here. Oh, it got torn up. Oh, R.I.P. Okay, let's go upstairs. This is the landing at the top of the stairs. We have here some fish. My kids for Mother's Day many years ago gave me an empty little fish tank, which was basically their way of saying, please go buy saltwater fish. But you can just sit and watch their personalities forever. Kids need a spot to study. You just need a place to spread out and do projects. So that is this table. This reading nook is maybe my favorite space in the house. You can peek in on the fish. It has all the kids' books. It has this awesome stained glass of a big old oak with 3 little owls and Birdie looking up at them. And there was one magical night where exactly what I hoped for happened. And all 3 kids were piled in here with me and we pulled down all the books from when they were little and we read them one after the other. That's really all I could hope for. All of us are readers, and if you're building your own house, you might as well offer people as many great places to read as possible. Welcome to my bedroom. This is T-Bear. My dad gave him to me when I was 3 from the Sears catalog. My mom made him some overalls. I knew I just wanted something that felt tight, compact. It was not a space that I needed a ton of room devoted to. Do you like it, T-Bear? Yeah, T-Bear likes it. I love that I can open these doors at night and wake up to birds. So I didn't need a huge bedroom. I did want a large bathroom because so often we get ready for work at home and it's always, you know, in your own bathroom and you need space for everyone to be comfortable. I wanted my bathroom to be really neutral, really calming. We wanted a kind of white that was flattering to have light bounce off of. I also wanted the house to look like an old farmhouse next to an old barn. And this is obviously the barn part because you can see the barn window. So this is where I sit and they turn me from one old gal to another. This bathtub, I love being next to the window. I love the quiet. I love having a tree in my bathroom. I'm very lucky. This is like a dream come true room for me because I love to have kids over for a slumber party, but I'm also a stickler about sleep. Although sometimes there are kids literally everywhere. I wanted built-in bunks where kids could cozy up all in one together, which is usually what happens. Late at night, you'll see them all bent over something that they're looking at together. They're all in this bunk watching something on TV. I love that the beds all have their own, just like you're on a ship, a really nice ship. I love having a spot that is just where kids can be kids. I also keep all of their favorite toys from when they were really little. You want little kids who come over to feel welcome and excited. And every now and then, the big kids will still pull out the old toys and play. You know, who doesn't want to put the money in the piggy bank? If you'd like me to ring up your groceries. Oh, that's where Bananagrams is. We're big Harry Potter fans. And what are you going to do if you have a little cabinet under the stairs? You have to use it. So it became my son's office. Just a little spot for him to come in and dream. Mostly he hides from me and eats candy, but I can't blame him. I would do the same. I'm such a private person about my home. And here I've just taken you through the entire house. And really, it's for a couple of reasons. I've never built anything all by myself before, and I'm so proud of it. I am filled with gratitude every time I walk into my house that I get to live here, that I'm so lucky to have my kids here. So it's unlike me, and yet I'm so happy to have shared it with you. I loved hanging with you today. Bye, AD.
Hello, AD.
Hello, AD.
I'm John Legend.
I'm Chrissy Teigen.
Welcome to our home.
Welcome.
Our designer's name is Jake Arnold.
We love him.
Sometimes people who are really creative and good at the creative stuff aren't good at the business side of things, but I feel like Jake is the... Hi, Pearl.
Hi, Pearl. Hi, my love. This
sit.
is my baby, Pearl. She
likes to cuddle with Mama on the couch.
Insane, but she loves to cuddle. This is my Instagram story room. Everyone's always like, you never leave this couch.
We live here. This is the living room. You know, and some people, their living room is more like a showpiece, and they spend all the time in the den or the family room. But we're actually in the living room quite a lot. We sit here and watch reality TV. We cook right there in the kitchen. And since the kitchen and the living room are so close, I think that's why we spend so much time here, because we're always cooking. She likes to be in the same space as our guests, same space as the family.
Which is why we have 3 or 4 different versions of these cushions. Because, yeah, basically my butt leaves a mark for long enough. And the dogs don't help, and the babies spit up.
Yes.
And the kids jumping back and forth. I will say, like, this is a very kid-proof house. People are always scared to bring their kids over. They're like, no, they're gonna jump on everything. I'm like, look at this, it's chaos. Like, hey!
Our living room is very lived in.
And we actually use some outdoor fabrics for
Yes.
our indoor couches.
Some of our fabrics are outdoor because they are tougher and they can take more crap that our kids put on it.
And piss, dog piss.
Yes, that too.
There's a lot of dog piss here.
So our TV cabinet is pretty cool. It stays open most of the time because we're usually watching TV
it's never closed.
in this room, but the TV comes out, watch this,
Look
and
at
then
that.
you can swivel it to face the living room more or face the kitchen more. So if Chrissy wants to watch Real Housewives and make dinner, then we can turn it toward the kitchen.
You mean watch the New York Times?
Watch, you mean watch Reader's Digest? We're in the kitchen.
We are in the heartbeat of our home. Obviously, we spend so much time in here. We can watch TV from here. It's a fully functional working kitchen.
Yes.
I think, like, when we go to other people's homes, we're like, oh my God, you can tell that when they don't use it. Or you stay at an Airbnb or something, you're like, oh, these people don't use their kitchen.
Yes.
We really use the shit out of this kitchen. Honestly, we have all 4 ovens going quite often.
Yeah, so we actually have 2 down here, 2 over there, and then we have a microwave over there and an espresso machine. We are literally using all these things all the time. We're doing big meals, having friends over.
Yeah.
We have Thanksgiving here, Christmas here. We do everything. We always wanted to have a home where it would be like an open door for our friends and family.
What we love about it too is it's not really precious. This can take such a beating. I mean, we normally have a cutting board on here that everyone sees my kids on top of, all these burners going. I will say it is a very sensitive fire alarm.
Oh yeah, our smoke alarm is sensitive.
For anything.
So we had to make
Keeps
sure
us
this
safe,
hood,
though.
it was good because
Yes.
it's trying to keep us safe, I understand. But I wish it would try
It's going
a
too
little
hard.
less.
It's going too hard.
Try a little less.
Have some faith in us that we would wake up.
So we're in the piano bar. This is the room where sometimes I'll write music, sometimes Luna will take piano lessons. The chandelier was designed by Allison Berger. It has my lyrics from my first couple albums etched in those wine glasses up there. And then we have a record player that's in this beautiful gold cabinet. There's also actually a TV in there, a LG like roll up TV.
We're a TV household. We have a TV in every room.
We have TVs everywhere. And then of course we have some of our awards up here. Chrissy's Glamour Woman of the Year, my Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, Tony things, Chrissy's Mac and Cheese Award.
This is, to me, this is
that was what we did during our first holiday special we did together.
Oh, I also got a Glammy Award for the best chair sitter from my glam squad because I never move. I'm just really good at getting my hair and makeup done.
It's new. I just made it up for this.
Oh my God.
We sometimes stay at Kelly Wursler's house. She's a great designer and she has a Malibu house and it has a tree like right in the living room kitchen area. And we were like, we want a tree inside our house too. So this tree actually is an olive tree that used to be alive, for real, but it's not alive now. And so we like literally dug 6 feet deep, put the roots down, put this tree here, not ourselves.
Yeah, we did it.
And it has silk leaves that don't fall down. They're attached to the tree. And it still looks and feels real, but it's not alive. It was formerly alive. And
We embalmed it.
we embalmed it, basically.
Around it, we have this beautiful.
This is a custom designed kind of gold ring around the tree.
It's our Christmas tree during Christmas time, so we put the presents underneath it here. The kids will cut out little shapes and we'll hang it from the leaves and we'll put twinkling lights in it around the holidays, and it's just such a centerpiece. Obviously it just makes us feel more connected to the earth, and just to like have it kind of flow from inside to outside is beautiful.
So now we're in the dining room, which not really a room, it's just all part of the great room, but this is where we would have formal dining, but we almost never have formal dining.
Never. Actually, my Girl Scouts sit here.
The Girl Scouts sit here. Chrissy's a Girl Scout troop leader, believe it or not. Yes, she is. And she's so good at it. She's like always coming up with cool ideas for the Girl Scouts and
I think aside from
crafts.
Thanksgiving, the only thing I've done here is have my Girl Scouts gathered around it and making dirt cups.
Yeah, but this table is just beautiful. It's the heaviest table you could possibly imagine. It takes like an army to move it. So we're never gonna move it after this.
No.
Like, it's just gonna stay here forever. This used to actually be a full wall with a fireplace, and we didn't like it. The fireplace felt like a little too fake and cheesy. We decided to make it 2 pillars instead, and we put this beautiful, based on Chrissy's idea, put this beautiful art installation.
I did ketamine, and I basically was like therapeutic ketamine.
Yes.
Like a therapy.
Doctor supervised.
Doctor supervised. And I came home and I was like, wouldn't it be so amazing if we had 2 beautiful butterfly wings that were holding our house up? So this is Jake's interpretation of the butterfly wings.
They're kind of like butterflies, flowers, but each wing/petal was installed one by one. And
hand painted each one, like if you touch them, they move a little bit. I mean, they're so delicate, and somehow they haven't been hurt yet at all.
I think because our kids can't really reach them that well.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. This is Luna's bedroom, guys. And how cool is this bedroom? We just kind of gave Jake some vague notes about how we wanted the kids' rooms to look. And when he came back with drawings of like what they were actually going to look like, I was like, this is beyond anyone's wildest dreams of what their bedroom should look like. She has a slide that she goes both up and down.
Yes, mostly up these days.
Yeah.
A little kitchen with her easy bake oven, a little swinging couch. She has a little beautiful nook up here that her and Miles will have little sleepovers in. That's the bed where Manny and Amelia Bedelia book are read.
Yeah, we read a lot of stories over there.
And then we put up all those little, those star stickers, the glow-in-the-dark stickers and stuff together.
1, 2, 3. So, hey guys, this is my room.
Hey guys, this is my room.
Miles loves cars, if you can't tell. The centerpiece is, of course, the Jeep bunk bed. And then Miles
cave.
has like a cave over here where he can read. And then it has just a whole play area up here too.
There's a little climbing wall in the corner where he can climb up that way to get up on the second little story of his nook and his cave. Good storage for all of his dinosaurs. So many dinosaurs.
And giraffes.
They love looking down from the net that's up here. And then you can see the kids when they come up on top here.
Jake did a good job.
Jake did a good job, he said.
I think the headline of this story is Jake did a good job.
Miles, that was so sweet.
Okay, so we're in the theater now, and we actually don't watch a lot in here, but the kids do. They watch like Scooby-Doo in here. And then sometimes we'll have like a movie night in here.
Because we like to jump here.
Yeah, it's really easy place to jump and not get hurt. And Miles loves it. Look at him.
What I love about this room is it's plush, it's feminine, it's beautiful.
And it's stylish too.
It's stylish, it's cool. We like to be in here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful room.
We normally have a nacho machine here. Can you show them the cheese?
I do have the cheese, actually.
We have cheese. We have
bags of
manufactured cheese.
So much manufactured cheese for it. So if you
100% organic.
You stick the tube in the cheese bag, pop it in the warmer, hit the button, the cheese comes out. I even bought, actually, sour belts, Swedish fish, everything's underneath here. Even though we have all this, our kids are really good about not wanting it.
Not overindulging. Like, they don't
Yeah.
come and ask us for candy all the time. They're good about it. And they eat their normal meal. Miles still doesn't eat vegetables, but we're working on it.
One day, buddy.
One day. So now we're in the family room, and this room is where, if we're gonna have a big group over to watch anything that we wanna watch, whether it's like the big game, the big reality show finale.
Just last night, we had about 40 people crammed in here on the couch, on the floor, pizza all over the table. It makes me so happy to see everybody gather around one space.
We wanted this space just to be cozy. You see this massive couch. It like just looks welcoming. And so we just get in here. It's really casual. Everything's low to the ground. And we just hang out in here.
I will
and
say
watch
this
what we're gonna
couch
watch.
was creamed just a couple months ago, which we loved, but I thought it was a little too clean looking.
Yes.
We wanted to bring a little like funk into the house and a little pattern action and character and fun and anything coming out of this. We've spilled red wine, we've spilled everything.
It's a very durable fabric.
Very durable.
And we love the pillows. Oh my God, these pillows are so gorgeous. This print, Jake picked this out and showed it to us, and we were like, yes, that's the one. How much Bravo is watched in
kidding.
here?
I'm not joking. So if I wake up at 9, I guess 9 to like when I go to bed 10, it's always playing in the background.
It's part of the like tapestry of the home, like the fabric of the home.
Yeah.
It's part of our background.
Yeah.
It's always happening.
Yeah, the kids see it and they hear it and they know that
Mommy's
they
watching her Bravo.
Mommy's watching her Bravo, and you shouldn't fight like this. They say this fighting isn't good.
Yes, don't
It's
be
a
like
teaching
them.
tool.
This is the most magical powder room I could imagine.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's all the same stone all throughout. So the sink, the walls, everything. It's just all this beautiful stone. These sconces are vintage, and it's a vibe in here. Don't you want to move into this powder room?
There's no better place to take a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just really isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in the backyard. We've got a pool, we've got Miles, we've got AstroTurf, we got a water slide over there, a little play structure for the kids.
AstroTurf? No one says AstroTurf. Say,
People that grow up watching football, that was like what they called it.
We have turf. It gets really, really hot back here. When the sun is up, I don't even know the upkeep it would take to take grass. Plus, we have so many animals, so it would just be a lot, and we discovered that it's much easier to maintain.
Turf. We have a little garden back here. We have barbecue over there, so if we were having a party, obviously the party flows in and out. So it's in the living room, but it's out here too. When we have big game parties, Super Bowl parties, the water slide is fun. It's a hit with the kids. So this is where we sleep. This is where...
John on the couch. Me on the bed.
If I'm in trouble, this is where I sleep.
Oh, please. It's such a joke amongst married people, but we have
It's
never
like a
done
sitcom
couch
trope.
If anything, I used to book a room at the Bowery.
Hey. In New York? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm booking a room at the Bowery.
I'm like out of here. I don't do the couch. Are you kidding? Not anymore. This is actually my therapy area. So my therapist comes in twice a week, sits on this chair, and I lay here. And it's exactly what you would imagine. I lay here and just
Talk about life.
talk about life.
So this room, like, obviously it's like very warm and earth tony, and we just want it to feel like super cozy and not too bright, everything muted and chill. This table is actually really cool. We've had this table since our first place we did with AD.
Love that home so much.
Yes.
It was like our little...
It was our little 3-bedroom oasis, and this is one of the only pieces that is still with us from that home.
Love that house. This is our bathroom.
Chrissy likes to do bath time with the kids.
I do bath time with the kids. I don't do solo baths. There is a TV in here. And so if I must, there's a TV everywhere, I'm telling you. If I must, I will sit maybe 5-10 minutes, quick rinse, watch Bravo. But me and all the kids will pile in here. They love doing like a family bath with me. And we sit in here, we do a big bubble bath. Huh, Miles? How much do you love bath? You love bath.
He loves bath
so
times
much.
with Mama especially.
He brings all of his cars. What else? Dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs.
Yeah. Into the bathtub.
Our shower's great. Good pressure.
Pressure.
That's all you need.
Yes.
Really, having a great shower is all about pressure. In this space where we are now, there was both a his and hers bathroom and a his and hers closet. We thought that was a little redundant, and so we did really big closet together and then one nice sized bathroom together. We don't need to be separated. It feels very like Victorian or something. Okay, AD, I think we got some TV to watch, a robe to put on. You can go home.
Bye. Sorry.
Take care.
We've loved having you. Bye.
Jer, when is the goat leaving the kitchen? Hey, AD. Hey, AD.
Welcome to Portugal.
Things look a little bit different around here.
Same homos, different home.
I'm really excellent with landscaping, and I have this concept that there should be rows and rows and rows of lavender.
Yeah, you certainly didn't fight me on it
No.
for like 6 months.
No, I didn't. He didn't have to hear, but lavender brings bees and all the things. I was wrong.
If the bees go, so do we, folks. I won't get choked up about the inside of this house, but I do get choked up when I talk about the outside, because when we bought this farm, it was a ruin and everything was really sick and had not been taken care of. And we had a friend come back who actually showed us the house, and he said to us, "You brought her back to life." Our family planted a lot of this lavender. Everything in this space reminds me of everything that we've put into it. And for whatever reason, everything that we've done, everything that we try to achieve for our family, this farm feels like the best representation of that success. That's Nuno, and that's Marta. Hi, guys.
And without them, there would be no farm.
Throughout the property, there's these old wells that really, when you take a wood cork out, they actually water the entire field. This one was not being used, and so we created our dream pool.
And this was my design too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really awesome with outside stuff.
Yeah.
If you guys ever need help,
He's great.
just by all means call me.
He definitely didn't fight me
I
about
have it
the
all right
pattern,
here.
didn't fight
Just
me about
have,
the
like, the
material.
vision.
But do you know what he does do really well? Enjoy it when it's done. Oh, there goes the sheep!
Oh man.
Look at, they froze when I yelled at them.
Hi guys.
I didn't realize that sheepish came from sheep because they are very nervous about everything. There's a baby.
You
Do you
guys see the baby?
This is the first home that we renovated. We lovingly call it the Lavender House. It's a little 2-bedroom house. It has the most exquisite views. You wake up to the sunrise right over this ridge. And if you look past this way, I built a house for my mother, and she lives here full time now with her husband. What's really beautiful about this home is at any given time, there's always 3 generations here. I am Portuguese. My parents are Portuguese. My mom always talks about stories of coming back here and living here someday. Living here, you feel like intrinsically connected to a vibration, like something much deeper, something older. Every day you wake up here and your only job here is to nurture the land. And there's so much beauty to that. There's so much purpose in that. It feeds your soul in such a unique and special way. You know, we were walking with our daughter the other day and she was talking about how underneath these arches is where she wants to get married someday, which could bring me to tears.
I think people would think that it's the homes that have like this feeling or this spirit to them, but it's really the land. I love this place.
So, when we bought this house, this room was terrifying. It was stone floors, there were troughs everywhere, it was a full barn. All of these rooms were so gross.
Normally in this architecture, the animals lived downstairs and the people lived upstairs. So all of these rooms on the first floor you're seeing were for the animals, basically.
Yeah. So when we decided to do this renovation, this space was really about creating a really warm, intimate TV space. I'll say it. Sometimes after chasing wild peacocks that are in heat, you want to watch Housewives. One thing that's important to note is that all of these doors were original.
So in Portugal, when they remove like centuries of paint off of wood, they burn it. And so this person with like a torch was burning the paint off and then hand scraping everything. So to see the wood underneath and the original iron hardware is so cool.
I think the house definitely feels, for me, visually different than anything we've done.
Show them your fat bird. This is a big deal, guys.
So we were at the Paris flea market a couple weeks ago, and we came around the corner and I saw this. And if there was ever a piece of furniture that I felt was me, it would be this beautifully sculpted bird. What's interesting about this kitchen is really the transformation that it went through. Originally, this was where they would milk the livestock. There was a drain in the center. It smelled like it had had quite a few experiences, but this space is so special. It's really, I think, the heartbeat of this house.
The chairs are Robert Mallet Stevens from 1930 in like the original chipping paint. We love that.
I love that I'm like the heartbeat.
I know, and I'm like,
Logic.
guess what we found at auctions everywhere. You make everything here.
Yeah, it's fun. I bake all the time for the kids. These doors are usually open. You can hear them splashing outside on the pool. But when you come here, the volume's turned completely down, and it really becomes about the art of living.
What's exciting is like when the flowers pop up that weren't there the day before, or you hear like the peacocks screaming at each other because it's mating season. And I find that like our whole family, not just the two of us, but the children as well, our body clocks start to shift a little bit, and we start waking up kind of when we want to, and we go to bed.
Well, you do, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely do. Also, the stone that you see behind.
Well, everywhere.
Yeah.
We only use local.
I love that we're talking about how much we love local materials as we stand in front of a French oven.
Well, you can't have it all. Okay, some things the French do really beautifully. And the ovens, I mean, they do a lot beautifully, for the record. Don't come for me.
So Everything changes when you come up the stairs in these homes, and this is really common here. Obviously, you have the height of the ceiling, like the plaster work, which was restored. There were people with paintbrushes, like making sure that they didn't change the original finish, which you can still see. The tapestry we inherited.
This was originally here. This space is really like where we come together at night, where the kids read a book or we play games on the floor, and it kind of acts as like this connective space between all the bedrooms. Speaking of children, let me show you our kids' spaces. You might want to zoom in on this spot. We keep hostages.
If anyone knows.
I swear to God, she's happy. All right, come into Poppy's room. The only thing that gets him going is vacuuming bugs on the ceiling. Interestingly enough, our daughter had a really clear perspective on what she wanted to do. She kept the original floors. She wanted to keep all the original furniture. This bed was here, this armoire was here, which we painted. We obviously added a new bathroom, but this was all her. She had a color she wanted. The funny thing about our daughter is she actually thinks that we have no taste. I think it's good. If she had her way, she'd literally live like Marie Antoinette. She thinks that we don't understand what we're doing. So.
Yeah, she thinks we have terrible taste, that everything we pick out is really ugly. She likes crusty French Louis the 16th style. That's her jam.
Good chance she's gonna end up like Joan Rivers, I'm not really sure.
I hope so.
And then over here is Oscar, Michael, Brent, Berkus's room.
What?
And a small
child.
What are you doing?
Dude!
Okay, so Oscar, tell me if I give a good description of your room for you, okay? Oscar wanted it to feel like he was living in the clouds. And so we have wallpaper that he approved on the walls, so he feels like he's in the clouds. He's got all of his very important installations. Legos everywhere.
And he collects pottery. He like looks around and tries to find the pieces that went with each other. So this is on his windowsill, but
Yes.
he really gets excited.
He definitely has inherited that maximalist lifestyle. Let's just put it that way.
Their grandparents who live here on the farm had a treasure hunt for the kids with clues hidden all over the farm a few days ago. And these are all the treasures that they won. I actually shouldn't even be touching this because he puts this in.
I also want to say for the record, I just got in trouble because this has been edited. And he was not happy about it being edited.
Oh yeah,
normally
all of his gold coins.
There's gold coins, there's fidgets, there's everything. It's objects everywhere, always an installation as we call it.
Did you get him this?
I sure did. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lava lamp. And I had 3. I got them all from Hot Topic, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Wow, you've come a long way from Hot Topic, babe.
I think if I had to kind of put together a visual representation of like our taste versus our son, it would be this beautiful tree painting and then this Lego.
Oh, that's where the
dragon.
coins are.
Well, he's holding some coins.
Can you guys see? He's holding chocolate coins.
Oscar doesn't
Genius.
actually like the chocolate, but he likes the gold.
Go figure.
So this used to be the formal dining room.
Yep. So in these homes, you see the ledge that goes around the perimeter. This is all the original millwork, all the original molding, but the dishes, the good dishes, would have been leaning against this room all the way around. Maybe someday we'll like start a collection of that. It's like pottery or something.
More stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I just thought of something else we can look for.
Oh, great. Why don't you and Oscar just start collecting some rare dishes?
I just need some gold coins.
What I love in this room again is the contrast of eras and design styles, and it works. It's very comfortable, and I feel like visually represents us.
And one thing that I really do have to show you guys. So this was actually the family that built this farm 400 years ago. Obviously we kept that because why would you not?
We are in truly the center of nowhere, which is what we love about it. But with that comes a lot of complexities around materials. I don't know how many calls we had where I was trying to explain a scallop. How do you say scallop in Portuguese?
Somebody knows.
What? Escultura. There's a lot of this. Muito obrigado.
It's also so cool because like the two windows which are arched are on the same axis. So you see Spain in that direction, and then you just see land on that direction.
That rent-a-car is not usually here.
Can you see that?
Yeah, well, I can. Bathroom?
Sure.
Okay. There used to be a third bedroom, which we absorbed to create a full primary bathroom as well as like a small dressing room. This is a stone tub. It's a perfect spot for it. These are the local marble, but it added a scallop detail. Scultura. Who's he?
I know you think that that's like my arousal palette.
I say that's Nate's arousal
It's
palette.
not.
Isn't it though? Look closely. Originally in this house, this was where you made all of the meat. And that's not a metaphor.
Where
And
they made
so-
the sausage,
Yes,
actually.
that's now the sausage. Never
What
mind.
oh my
So
God,
what's really
welcome,
beautiful
AD.
about this room is the scale of the fireplace.
Yeah.
It's what we love the most.
You can see, actually, look, this is the size of the fireplace.
The second this home was finished, we've had, I don't even know how many dinner parties in here. They're always very late, very rowdy, and very overserved, which is what this house is supposed to be about, coming together. A lot of the pieces in here are things that we inherited when we actually purchased the house.
I do want to show you guys something I think is really cool. So a lot of the pots that you see around the farm were original to the farm. And this one, we have no idea how old it is, but it was common for the artist to sign the pot. So this one says Jose Pereira, and that's who made this, which is sort of amazing.
This is wood. Shall we go outside? I just want to say for the record, because I'm obviously obsessed with landscaping now, this tree is not dead. It's a walnut tree and it always comes back late. So
Looks
she's
sad.
on her way, she's coming, but she takes her time.
It looks dead.
It's not dead, it's budding. Now you're just being mean. He didn't mean it. Perfect shot. I believe that was Peacock for fuck you. So this pool, we kind of lovingly refer to as the kids' pool. They swim in it almost every day. They're always splashing in it. I could be cooking in the kitchen and I look out and they're always in the pool.
We have several of these on the farm, and these were the reservoirs that the channels all connect to.
And that's what
But-
we actually spent the first 2 years
Fixing.
restoring, is
Yeah.
all the water channels that kind of move throughout the land. It's almost like veins, and you always hear that kind of beautiful sound of water.
Sorry, babe, this is making me crazy.
What can I say? Every family's got one. So this path, for the record, we did not name it. It's called Lover's Lane, but we did just completely restore it. And this is all actually a scent garden. So everything will bloom and smell really beautiful.
This is what we walked into, obviously not in this condition. And this iron structure is one of 4 on the farm.
Yeah.
It's just like this is like the real history of this place.
I cannot describe to you, and I'm not sure a video or photo will ever really do it justice, what it feels like to live somewhere where you always hear the running water and you always hear birds. It's truly super magical. Right, Chico?
Hi, Dad. What are you doing?
Hi, Pops. We are talking to some friends. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. So the one rule around this house is that if you leave, you just have to take a walkie-talkie with you so we can find you.
These used to be statues, but they were fake, so they're gone. The little gardener guy, remember?
How could I forget?
He had like a basket and a sun hat. He was like this.
So he was gay. So this we did not know existed until we started cleaning up and cutting back the plants and maintaining it. But look at this beautiful altar. So this is like its own personal church,
This is Saint Antonio.
who's all over the farm. Really beautiful about this is that the water comes in, it comes up to like mid-calf, and you sit down with your feet in the water.
The water's a little dark for me. I like a little like chlorine thing moving around.
That's my worst nightmare. We have owned this home for 6 years. We have no idea still where the water comes from.
What did you find now?
That's my weed netting.
Don't eat that.
Chico.
No.
That's yucky.
That's not for you. That's gross. It's
yucky.
plastic.
You can't do that. That's yucky.
You can't eat that. Where are goat wrangling hostages? Unbelievable.
America's decorator. right, AD, I can't thank you enough for coming to check out our home.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us and our zoo.
Now we have to go wrangle children, goats, sheep, and wild peacock. So we'll see you later.
What do you think he's doing?
Being a goat. Bye.
Chico, you're a really good boy. I really love him.
No.
As a personal challenge for Jeremiah and Spiders, I want to know, what would I have to give you to stick your hand in this old pot?
Do you want to know something really beautiful?
Come on, Jerry.
This is actually jasmine that's climbing all the way across, so it's going to smell
Give me your
so
hand.
beautiful at night, especially when I'm here single.
A little closer together.
Too gay.
We're too gay?
Not me. Look how uncomfortable I am.
Oh yeah, you really are. Will you stick your hand in the spider pot?
That's my like girl's voice.
Yeah, that's really effective. All the women just swooned.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone always tries to act so cool when I'm so excited you're here. Hi, AD. I've been waiting to do this forever. Come inside. My name's Benny Blanco. I don't know what else to say. Bye. Not bye. Hello. We are in, I guess this is called like a living room. I don't know. I call this a listening room. I love this room because you kind of just melt into this couch. We made this couch. You can actually just fall back into this thing and fully submerge yourself and sink into the moment. You can fit like comfortably 15 people on this couch in various positions and in this position. And these speakers are these really old speakers that they had in a club called The Loft in like the 70s. And my friends got them for me as a gift. I play music really loud in here, and I like to just melt away at the beginning and end of the day. I had a dream, and I dreamt of this like big onyx box that I was walking towards that was like illuminated. I remember asking a friend who like fabricates a lot of this stuff for me. I was like, hey, can this be made? And apparently, it can be made, and it was made. And my ideal time is when it's raining. I have this little globe on, and I have like a beautiful record on, and copious amounts of marijuana. I'm so embarrassed to hear my own music. I also have another thing where the second I write something, I actually can never play it again. I kind of just sit there and make it all happen on the spot when nobody's around. So no, I won't play. To me, this room has like so many powerful pieces of art in it. This one is Picasso, and then that one's Martin Wong. I just feel like there's so much energy in this room. Oh my God, I sound like one of those people. Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm not one of those people. I'm not like, there's not like a crystal at my butt right now. I really do believe in like energy of like artwork and music and places, and I don't know, it makes me feel good when I'm in this room and I can kind of just like forget about the outside world for a second and then be flooded with anxiety the second I leave this room. But for now, whee! All right, guys, we're in my dining room. I felt like I wanted to be like an adult in here. I wanted to be like regal. I wanted there to be like gold and it to be opulent. The truth of the matter is, nobody ever goes in this room. Ever. The only time I ever go in is to grab bottles and bring them out. You know when you're a kid and like you go to your grandma's house and she has like the couch with like the laminate over it? That's what this room is. I've never go in this room. You gotta check this one thing out. This is amazing. So my friend made this sculpture and everyone thinks it's real. It looks like it's just a bag of money, but it's actually made of wood. This is a chair my friend made out of bread. And you can sit in it. I'm scared to sit in it, but you can sit in it. So this is by a guy named George Condo. The painting's actually called The Musician. I kind of think it looks like me. I just like having art all over the house because I don't know what emotion the person had when they were making it, but I see certain things when I walk past it and it might inspire me and I might look at it differently another day and be like, holy shit, like I never noticed that one like stroke there, or like that imperfection right there. And I don't know, makes me happy. I really care about the whole bar setup. I'm the type of person, people come over, I want to entertain, My girlfriend actually only drinks one drink, no matter what. It's just vodka, ginger beer, and lime. Now I have like different like Amaros. This one's insane. This one tastes like chocolate. A man makes this in LA. You want a sip? It tastes really good. I'm the type of person where when a friend comes over to my house and they're like, oh, I really love this one Amaro. The next time they come, I try to make sure that there's like a bottle ice cold waiting for them. And honestly, I either want to be like a gentleman or be like I'm in a frat house and be taking like Jello shots out of someone's stomach. There's one small thing about this room. The second you sit on this couch, it is impossible to get up. There's a lot of people with children who bring their children to the house, nieces and nephews, and we have a lot of play dates. And I like a stuffed animal, so everyone does. Everyone likes a stuffy. I hate when you go into someone with like a nice house and it like doesn't feel lived in. I remember having the thought when I first got this house where I was just like, I want every room to be a spot where it's someone's favorite room. I wanted it to be so comfy. So if something gets spilled on or lost, it doesn't matter to me. I just want people to be able to walk in and feel at peace and feel like they can be their youngest self here and just like let loose. I got this whole wall of like tchotchkes that was basically designed for a child to grab something and throw it against the wall and break it into a million pieces and then me be disappointed in them. Oh my God, wait, you know what's one of my favorite things? Okay, this one, you know who this is? It's Junior Soprano. My friend made this out of clay. It looks like it's gonna be like wet, but it's not. This thing's like 6 years old, but I love this. This is one of my favorite things in here. My friend Will made this. Will Child. Good night, Uncle Junior. This is my kitchen, guys. This is where it all goes down. Honestly, this is the room we spend the most amount of time in. I'm cooking. There's 50 people in here. Sometimes people sit and we eat on top of this thing while people are over here. I find that cooking and sharing these experiences with friends. Oh, look at this. Little place right here. I actually have a cookbook coming out. This book is about like really throwing like the best dinner party and bringing all your friends together. And I like to bring people from all walks of life. There might be like a 75-year-old man sitting next to a young man who's just taken like toad venom for the first time. And he's like trying to find himself this evening next to like my mom wearing like a bedazzled shirt that says like bada bing on it or something. And then like SZA's like singing a song in the other room. And I find like just bringing all different people together to have an amazing time with food. Food is like the best lubricant to like talk to someone. And then my friend, Jonas Wood, his children made these plates of meat. They look insane. I look insane. I look so crazy. These actually kind of look exactly like me. I have this thing that, I mean, if this drops, it could sever your arm in half. I kind of have like a grocery store down here. I got everything down here. You guys probably shouldn't come down. See? You guys can't fit in here. It's amazing. There's all sorts of stuff you want. One time, one of my friends tumbled down this and was on the injured reserve list for like 3 to 6 weeks. Come down at your own discretion. This is my room. Usually this room is all like white and cream based. If you look around, there's no paintings in this like main part of the room because I need all distractions away when I'm sleeping. Don't most people say like this is where the magic happens and stuff? That's stupid, AD. That's what they say on Crips. No one says that on AD, right? AD's classy. We would never talk about magic happening in here. This is one of my little favorite benches. You know, sometimes I just sit here and like, I might like kick my feet up. And now look at me, I'm underneath this chandelier. This feels like an important time in history right now. Just sitting here, me and you, we're in the room. Something could happen. It wouldn't be magic. All right, guys, we're in my closet. Now, a lot of you might not know this, but depending on what I'm wearing, they actually change the color of the carpet and all of the cabinets every day. So I happen to be wearing pink today. So we went with the pink room. I honestly spend so much time in here. People come in here and we kind of just like will drink and hang out because it's the softest carpet. Put your feet on, you feel it? Yeah, it's a soft carpet. My stylist happens to be my friend since I was 13 years old. So her name's Chloe. She actually made this entire thing I'm wearing right now, and out of like old bed sheets from France. Look, I'm not afraid to wear a heel. This is a beautiful heel. Like, I want to be dainty sometimes, and I could use the extra inches. I'm very small. I like these. Look at these. Ooh, are you kidding me? Nice little, I almost don't want to touch them. You could lick the bottom. I love this room. It's also one of my favorite rooms in the house. This shower is actually a full steam shower. It's so big. My friend Dave, he's probably gonna kill me for this, but anytime he comes over and we're like, we have to go to something together and we're in a hurry, we just shower together because there's 2 separate showers. You can mind your P's and Q's in there. You could turn on a steam. It's warm. Who doesn't want to talk when they're in the shower? You want a friend next to you. You want to be able to talk and have fun. We're outside. I feel like I've said this 100 times. I think I like my house because most of the areas are my favorite areas. This is one of my favorite areas. I stay in this pool for minimum 6 hours at a time on the weekend. You know when you went into a baby pool where like it was just filled with piss? That's exactly the temperature I like to keep this at. We always have parties, we're barbecuing, we're grilling. We're constantly in a flow of like pool, jacuzzi, sauna, cold plunge if you're not scared. I'm scared a lot. Everybody's all into the cold plunge now. You're not a professional athlete. Like getting in a cold plunge for like 6 minutes a day, like isn't gonna help you write like 12 emails faster. Like relax, it's freezing. Nobody likes it. I get in every once in a while if I'm really hungover. Over there, that's like my personal oasis. That's where I like to have all my meals. Even if there's not enough seats and we have like 15 people, we're all crowded around there, we're eating. My favorite place though, besides that to eat, is I usually feed everyone while they're in the pool and everyone like lines up on this area, but we're trying to be a little bit civilized. We go over there. This is where it goes down, guys. We have a pizza oven. We love making pizza. We love doing like Middle Eastern nights where we're making like pitas, and also like Indian nights with naan, and everyone will gather around here and we'll all put the pizzas in together, take them out. Honestly, it's just different places in my house for people to gather around and eat. Isn't that what life's all about? Basically, a few years ago, my friend Scott and I started putting together a garden. I wanted to eat like what I grew. And in the time that we did that, we're always giving back and finding ways to do cool things with interesting charities. And my friend Maggie Baird has a charity called Support and Feed. We linked up and we basically deliver all the vegetables from my gardens to different food deserts in the LA area. We do it every single week, and we get to feed people who are less fortunate and don't have access to like incredible, healthy, fresh vegetables. We're out in my guest house that I turned into a movie theater. I did this with my friend Keith, and this is, it's home. It's the best. This room, we watch movies in here. It's a black hole. One might stay here for 2 to 7 business days. Everything's made out of velvet. It feels like you're in like a 70s porno. I love it. And then when I was a little kid, I always wanted a candy room. And now I got one. Now we have every type of candy you could ever think of. You know, we got the M&Ms, we got the Reese's, we got the peanut butter M&Ms, we got the Skittles. Wait, I think they took Skittles away because they like kill you or something. It makes me like them even more. Oh my God. We got so many candies from different countries over here. You know, I collect these. This one's blowfish flavor. This ping pong table, me and my brother have had a feud over ping pong for 30 years. Unfortunately, I've never beaten him in my entire life. It doesn't even mean that he's necessarily better than me. He's just in my head. He owns my head, rent free, and I can't get out of it. And we've had near fist fights over ping pong. All right, AD, who's ready to play some ping pong? AD, thank you guys for coming over. I know I'm supposed to kick you out, but I actually don't have anything to do right now, so I don't, you probably do. I love you guys, goodbye.
Hey AD, I'm Vanessa Hudgens. Welcome to my home. Come on in. So this is the Little DeMille. It was built by Cecil B. DeMille for his mistress. Therefore, this is the Little DeMille. Over here we have Cecil B. DeMille, the man himself, kind of clocked as like the Hollywood grandfather of cinema. So we have to have a moment here honoring him since he built this for his mistress. This is the living space. Got the piano, which doesn't really get used that often. This is all I remember for the most part. Anyways. Wanted it to feel really French because the land is very French and vibey. There's olive trees everywhere. So I really wanted to play into that with the space. And I wanted it just to be really like casual and relaxed and cozy. I'm a big fan of candlesticks, so you will notice them everywhere. I just loved this mohair sofa that I found at a vintage shop. A lot of the pieces I found are vintage pieces, like the little tavertine stacking tables. I got a vintage movie poster, which is Breathless, an amazing French film. I'm obsessed with this. It's this artist named Peter Tomka. He does these projection silver gelatin prints, and it's his friend from high school. She wrote a murder mystery play, and this was a shot that he got from it. I love it. I also really love vintage books. Finding old books all over the world is one of my favorite things to do. I found these little guys in Scotland at a little vintage bookstore along with these original prints of Emma. These are just like all French love stories. We have my one and only Natalie Wood. Fox actually gave this to me after I did Grease Live as a present. This I got because I was like, this would be so cool to have an old school clock that chimes. And then it started chiming, and every time it chimed, I would jump out of my skin and be like, that was a great idea. Practically terrifying, but you know, it looks cute. I love big plants. I think it's so important to just bring life into your home. As you can see, my Monstera is doing very well, and we just love big, big bouquets. My friend and designer extraordinaire, Chad Wood, helped me and styled this house and put together the most amazing bouquets and arrangements. Oh, and the floors. The floors were a big selling point for me when I saw this house. Gary Oldman lived here before me, and he put these in. They're 18th century French oak from an old chapel in Europe. So cool. When I bought the house, these doors were probably from the 50s. They did not open at all. So I had these made to just give it some air, which is so necessary in LA. My little breakfast nook that I'm very proud of. I got this wallpaper that I fell in love with from House of Hackney. There's like little mushrooms and dragons. I got this made after a restaurant that I'm obsessed with in New York called Maison Premiere. And it just feels like you're in New Orleans in the 20s. I eat here when it's like one or two of my other friends, but we normally just end up dancing around the table. Ends up being a great dance floor. And then we move into the kitchen. When I bought the house, this kitchen was very, very different. It was all white. There were red knobs on all the cabinetry. And during the pandemic, I was home so much. I was like, this would be the time to do a remodel for the kitchen. And so I took it upon myself to have a project and put it all together. I wanted the floors to feel kind of Italian, so we did the tavertine. I opened the shelving up, and this tile is actually leftover tile from the remodel of my bathroom, and it was sitting in the basement, and I was like, that would work perfectly. So put that here, made it just really earthy. There's a lot of plants, there's a lot of fruit. I have an abundance of citrus and avocados. I don't really cook that often. Once in a blue moon it happens, but I'm very proud of my Cali water fridge. We gotta stay stocked, keep everybody hydrated. I just love quirky, unique things about homes, and this is definitely one of them. I don't know if it's like from a boat or a submarine, but it's just so cool. And also to have a swinging door. Here we have our dining room. I wanted it to feel very romantic. I wanted the table to kind of play off of the pattern of the floors. Once again, like 1950s Italian chandelier. Just keep it really organic and kind of neutral, since this opens and flows into the olive trees. This is the powder room, which I just love so much. It has these tiles, which I feel like have probably been here since the 50s, but this wall was painted red, like bright red. So knowing that I wanted it very old school, old Hollywood, I found this wallpaper by House of Hackney. And I feel like it just gives it that old Hollywood vibe. Of course, since this is old Hollywood home, I had to have Richard Avedon portrait of Marilyn Monroe. I love this piece so much because we're all so used to Marilyn smiling brightly and just being the goddess that she is. But this just seems like an in-between moment, like she's really lost in thought. And it just seems like a very vulnerable, personal image of her, which is what you kind of want to see when you're going to the bathroom, right? You feel safe. Since this is just like all white walls, I wanted to bring some big art pieces into this space. This is by an artist named Kader Bole. He was born in Africa and moved to Paris when he was like 20 to pursue his dream. His stuff's just so cool. This piece, my girlfriend, her husband is the artist. His name's Fernando Garcia, and I just thought this was so cool. It says Libre Pensador. It's kind of like a commentary on how society wants to keep us inside of the box, but it's our jobs to be outside thinkers, which we support and love. This is my bedroom. I wanted it to be very feminine, so I feel like, of course, there's going to be a lot of celebrating the woman form in my bedroom. I found this piece by an LA artist named Eliza Valenti. I just love the colors. I love how it's celebrating women's figures, and they're like full, vivacious bodies, and I just think it's so important to see that. For some reason, I just really fell in love with the idea of orange for my bedroom, so I got these velvet orange curtains. Once again, very important to have plants that you love on. I got this sofa that I love the shape of. I'm obsessed with this quilt. It's from Nikki Kehoe and it's reversible. And I just love that it adds texture to the space. These sconces I love. I got from this store in LA called Obsolete, and it just gives off like a really dope glow at night. These I had made, which I am just obsessed with. These legs that are thick and kind of have like an Art Deco-y feel to them. And this marble actually goes perfectly with the marble in my bathroom. We love when it all ties in together. This is my bathroom, one of my favorite places in the house. I worked with Jake Arnold to design the space, and I just really wanted it to be sexy and cave-like. This bathtub that I spend so much time in. More candlesticks, as you can see. Here's the marble that matches my bedside tables. And then these are also the tiles that I had so many extra of that I used as a backsplash in my kitchen. All the faucets I wanted to be brass, so naturally went to Waterworks. And we did it with the wood on it because I just love things being really earthy and keeping it like grounded. This is where I shower, welcome the world in the morning. Wanted just a little desk moment for myself to be able to work on scripts at home on. This lamp I'm so obsessed with. It just makes it feel like a little fairyland. My closet, which we don't need to look in because it's kind of a disaster. Of course, everyone loves living in LA for the outdoor space, and this house does not disappoint. I got these wooden beams made to follow the curvature of the iron that was already here. Eventually, I'm hoping that my vines will grow in and cover all of this, but it's just really taking its time. This is like the side door. I just love how the ivy's growing up it. The ivy over this house is one of my favorite things ever because when do you get a brick house in LA that's covered in ivy? It's very rare. The maintenance of this house it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. We have our pool, very necessary in LA. One of my friends found this chair at a vintage store. I'm obsessed, especially because it plays into the murals I had painted outside. So when I moved in, this was just a white wall, and I was like, that seems like such a wasted opportunity for something really cool to happen. So I found this artist, Carly Kuhn, who does the coolest single line portraits, and I'm just obsessed. It brings so much life to the place. She also did these. We call them the lovers. Just a little seating area underneath the olive trees. Plumerias are my favorite. My dad always had plumerias around. He would always give me plumeria plants. So this is like my prized possession. This is where I feel like most nights my friends and I all hang out and we turn on the fireplace and share ghost stories. Say hi, Dar. She gets camera shy. So this is the guest house. Originally was built as a carriage house, and now it's just our hangout room, TV room. As you can see, we have all of my Teen Choice Awards. They've been sitting in the garage for so long, and I finally was like, we should just put them out somewhere. So they have finally found a home. Bookshelf with more books that I have found from all over. I met like Kelly Slater when I was going to a bunch of like surf US Opens. So he gave me his book signed, which I love. I've got my Annie Leibovitz, which she signed for me when I worked with her. My friends and I are always taking photos. So we have like our vintage Polaroid just ready on hand. Got a bunch of really good stuff here. This piece I am so obsessed with because at a certain point of the day, the light comes in and hits it just right and it looks almost like a ghost. It's this artist, Kim Vitran. I saw it on their Instagram and I was like, that is amazing, I need it. And then they sent it over. My favorite part is the little portrait of Darla in the portrait. Kills me. We love a jam session, so there's always some form of instrument in all the rooms. And then we have even more land. This massive tree is an avocado tree, and it actually produces fruit. Not that often, but when it does, there's a lot of guacamole. This is a grapefruit tree, then we've got a lemon tree and a lime tree, and a kumquat and tangerine tree. So there's just a lot of fruit. I really wanted a place that you can just run around in and kind of feel like you have a park. We have water balloon fights out here. We do little photo shoots out here. Just run around, and it's so nice to have a space that's open in LA that just allows me and my friends to feel like big kids. I love this little arch entry we have into the secret garden, which doesn't really have that much in because I'm not in it all the time. We have our pizza oven, which actually has been used. The first time, not so successful. We have our big old fireplace and the biggest grapefruit tree, which lights up at night and just is so whimsical and romantic. This is another thing I love about the house. Gas lanterns. They're by this company, Bevelot, from New Orleans. They've been around since like the 40s. And I just love when you go to New Orleans, that vibe is kind of spooky. So these lanterns really did it for me. And that is my home. Thank you, AD, so much for coming and checking out my house. Now it's time for you to go and me to go into the bath. Bye.
Hi, AD. I'm Ashley Benson, and welcome to my home. Come on in. So this is the casual living room, but it's really my dog's main bedroom, house, kitchen. I've always wanted to live in a house that felt like I was on permanent vacation. When I'm outside, I just feel like I'm like in Italy or Barcelona, like anywhere that kind of like puts me away from being, you know, in LA. And this house really did that for me. I just had such a vision. I love interior design. But working with Nicole Gordon, who's also one of my best friends, it was very easy. And John Ferraccio was amazing. So one fun fact that I loved right when I saw the house originally, Arthur Kelly, who did the Playboy Mansion, also built this house in 1930. And I thought that was just a very cool piece of history. And I think I was the third owner of this house, which is very rare. It just felt very special and timeless. A kitchen is everything to me. Nancy Meyers is one of my favorite directors ever. If you know her movies, which I'm sure you do, she has the best kitchens. Like, her interiors are amazing. I wanted my house to feel very Nancy Meyers-esque. And so here we are. I wanted a very big island. I love to entertain. A lot of my free time that I have on the weekends, I have all of my friends come over. They'll come over with what dish they're gonna make. And we just spend a lot of time in here. This is probably the most used room of my house. The one thing I wanted, I was like, I need to somehow figure out how I can make this stove in my kitchen and also one of these, because it looks like I know how to cook and I'm a professional chef. I have a bunch of these pans and no, I've never used them and I never will. I've collected a bunch of pots and pans and kettles and stuff from Paris, London, Geneva, Canada, kind of all over. I was gonna put like a big light above the island, but this is far more interesting and I just think it looks very pretty. I make all of my friends coffee every morning if they're over. If not, I'll make myself coffee. And believe it or not, I actually do keep pastries in here all the time just because I feel like it looks pretty and it just makes me in a really great mood. This is not just for show. This is for show, but I really always do have like little donuts or, you know, bread, croissants, all the things, just because I want to look like I know what I'm doing in here. This is my dining room. Before, it was all white and it just had a piano in here. I kind of like the idea of having a dining room away from my kitchen. And I made these doors be able to open to the backyard and the grass so my dogs can go out, we can get fresh air. I have a fireplace here, which I redid into gold, a gold fireplace, which I loved. And having like a black dining room I thought was very cool. It felt very Parisian to me in a sense. But yeah, in the winter, I literally have this fire going at all times. My friends come over, we play games, and we just eat and sit here for hours. I have music put on in here, and it's just a really nice room to kind of relax in. So this is my formal living room. I wanted to have a space that felt very adult and just classy, elegant, and somewhere for people to just be able to sit down, talk, for me to like read a book, enjoy the fire, have coffee, tea, a glass of wine, whatever that may be. Every time I went into people's houses and I was like, you don't have a TV? Like, that's so crazy. But it just feels so much more mature. I just liked a grand room without anything like that. But I also wanted to have kind of a home theater room. Being able to watch films and then having this fire, it's just amazing. So right now we're in my backyard, which I actually use as my front yard, my front entrance. We have my pool here. We had these beautiful blue tiles. The elevated hot tub was really important for me, and like the water flows down when you're in it. And yeah, it's just very cozy. And every time I'm out here, I just feel like I'm on vacation. I feel like I'm in Cabo and then also Italy with all the flowers and stuff. But yeah, it's very relaxing out here. This is Mason. Mason is Nicole Gordon's dog who also did my house. Love you, Nicole. But Mason comes over all the time. He's the one creature that goes in my pool more than I do or my friends. If he comes into my house, he goes right through the gate, jumps in the pool, and he's there for hours. Hey, this is what we do on the weekends. Ready? Yeah, go. He has to use the steps too. Good boy, Macy. Good boy, Macy. I feel like because I travel so much and I'm constantly living in hotels, I wanted my bedroom to feel like that. I love small spaces and to feel very cozy. And I got inspired by one hotel in Amsterdam that had weird cages for the bathrooms. And so I thought of the idea of, why not make my bathrooms in weird caged rooms? So here we are. This copper tub was very important to me. I wanted something that was different, hence this. I'm a very big bath person. The first thing I do when I wake up is take a bath, regardless of, you know, if I have time or not. I go in here, I put a little TV in here. This was an amazing piece. It's also a steam room, which I really wanted. If I'm ever feeling like sick or worn down or just tired, I'll sit in here for another hour or two. And then if you go over on this side, this just feels very open, very girly. These sconces actually are original to the house. And I think a lot of the sconces in my bedroom are as well. But to kind of tie that in with my bathroom, I picked this mirror that's kind of covering up a little window there. This is where I sleep. I was obsessed with blush and like a mustardy yellow and a navy situation. I didn't know how we would make it work, but we did. These floating little nightstands are amazing and so handy, and it just looks more clean. I love having a clean kind of aesthetic. I don't like anything busy. So it just worked very well having these sconces right here, these little lamps. I think it's such a nice touch. But yeah, just very feminine and tidy and nothing too crazy busy. And it just, again, feels like a really nice hotel room. I also have an original fireplace, which I love putting on the fire at night. And I still do. Even in the summer, I'll have it blasting and I go to bed. It makes you just fall asleep very easily. And then why not have a bar in your bedroom? So again, it just felt like I was away somewhere in a hotel. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you know, why not? Also, it's mainly just for my candy. I wanted my closet to kind of flow with my bathroom. So this originally, all of this was a guest room. And there wasn't a lot of closet space in the house. So I got to kind of build my dream closet. And I felt like I was in a department store, but still my house. This is like one of my favorite things ever. I always dreamed of having a closet with little lights in it and kind of being able to see everything. This is actually a photo that Keegan Allen took, who played Toby on Pretty Little Liars. He framed this for me. That's on Mulholland. I think I was like 24, and I was very into photography at the time. And I just thought it looked very cute in this closet. So thanks, Kean. I had the laundry room built and this little secret door. This laundry room is so much fun. First of all, this wallpaper, I wanted to do the laundry room in a very weird print. And for some reason, I was really into aliens at the time and space. So I was like, what can I find that has that sort of element, and why not put it in the laundry room? My friend Christina is an amazing organizer, and she did my laundry room for me. So it just also looks like a store. It's just a very fun room for me to be in, and a lot of space to do my laundry, steam clothes, fold clothes, all the things. And I love doing laundry. So I just wanted to make this space kind of a fun room for me to be in. This is going into one of my guest bedrooms, and this entire room is all original. It kind of reminded me of Chateau Marmont, which I did spend a lot of time in my early 20s. I lived there for a bit. So this was kind of paying homage to that. And I just thought it was so beautiful. And I was happy to not have to redo another room and to be able to leave some of the original pieces here. This is one of my favorite guest rooms. It feels like Beauty and the Beast to me. I love libraries, and we stained all of this wood to be a bit darker, and I just wanted to fill it with different memories. A lot of my family pictures are here, different projects I've worked on, a lot of memorabilia. I love collecting records, so I have a lot of my records here on these shelves. And I think also it's just so peaceful. The sunset from this room is incredible. We're on our way to the speakeasy, but before that, this was actually the original furnace in the house. We sealed it shut, painted it gold. I thought it was a really cool piece to leave here. And if you walk this way, you'll just see a much younger me right there for Spring Breakers. This is my speakeasy. I'll take you up this way to the bar. I spend a lot of time in here. Believe it or not, I do a lot of my self-tapes for auditions in this room. So it's not only a bar, but also a workspace. I got inspired by Hotel Coste. It's one of my favorite hotels in Paris. They have a lot of black marble, black walls, deep red accent walls. All of their rooms in the hotel are red velvet, and I'm just obsessed with that hotel. The wallpaper on the ceiling, it looks like flowers, but if you look close enough, you might see something a little different. We don't have to go into details, but you know. And then also this mirrored ceiling, I thought was very fun. Just to kind of play off of the mirrored background of the bar. It's normally all red lights. I change all these sconces to a red light. I put music on, and I'll be down here for hours with my friends or just alone. And I find it actually a very creative space for me. During COVID, I mastered an espresso martini. So that's one of my faves. Try to do better at making good cocktails. I just pour things in and hopefully it tastes good. Thanks for coming over and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the house, but now I want some alone time, so get out. Bye.
Hey,
Oh, well,
Dee.
hello.
Welcome to our home. Come on in.
Come in.
We moved into this house 2 years ago. This is kind of where we do a lot of our reading and hanging with our friends. And
I nap on there pretty often,
Yeah.
on this yellow couch.
and this is Luna's favorite room. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Luna.
I don't know if you can see
This
her.
is like the
She's-
fuzziest rug, so she's always in here. If you can't find her, she's in here somewhere.
The way this is mostly gonna work is I'll probably like throw in occasional details about things, but Emmy did this whole house.
That's not true.
So like I have very little.
True.
She's very kind about giving me input, but like it's perfect. I don't know if it's so dope. But all of these baskets for so much of the last couple of years, Emmy would just come home from somewhere with a handful of baskets. And then a couple minutes later, I'd see her up on a ladder, just rearranging all the ones she had there so that she could then hang the new ones.
Add more baskets to my basket collection. I think now I've kind of run out of room, so I think it's time for me to stop buying baskets.
We'll start
I say that now and I'm gonna come home with a
Good
basket
luck.
tomorrow.
This is funny
yeah.
also, and gross. Photographs of yourself kissing in your living room.
Just in case you didn't know whose house you were in, just really right when you walk in the front door, this is who lives here.
That's a fake fireplace. It's real. It turns on. It's gas. It just doesn't. It's not
We
very
haven't really
good.
figured it out
Come
yet.
see the rest of the house. Much more impressive.
This is actually one of my favorite pieces in the house. This is actually an article that was written by my dad, and he was nominated for a Pulitzer. They've traveled the world with me in almost every apartment that I've ever moved into. Greg Lampman. He's great. I will let him talk about this. This is his sanctuary, if you will.
You really have to. So this was an incredible surprise. Almost every house we looked at had some exposed wine cellar.
Yep.
And we don't drink very much wine, so it never made any sense. But it was a cool space under the stairs. And I came home one day, and Emmy had converted it into this record room. Had all these custom-built shelves, and put up all of this great artwork. I spend most of my time in here looking through all the things that I already know I have just because I like looking at them. And then eventually I'll pull something out and play it, but it's the best.
This is our lovely dining room. Fun fact, when we moved into this house, before anything else had moved, these chairs showed up. So for about 4 days, the only piece of furniture in this house were these green chairs. So we ate on them, we watched TV on them. We've only really eaten in here.
That was the last time we used these chairs.
That's not true.
No, we had a Thanksgiving in
We
here.
had Thanksgiving dinner, our first Thanksgiving here, and I think we fit 14 people around this table. For our Friendsgiving, it was definitely a Friendsgiving. Come on to the living room now.
We do, in fact, spend all our time here.
Yes.
And this is how you have to enter the couch.
This is...
I love this couch.
This couch actually was a huge part of making this living room feel lived in. You know, I spent, and we both spent a lot of time in New York, and you know, the concept of a couch is wild. So I think we both wanted a couch that 15 people could fit on, and you could also fall asleep on it, and it was cozy and felt lived in. So we definitely spend, you know, almost, especially now, these days, a lot of time on this couch. My favorite part of this room, though, is this ottoman. It actually is a custom ottoman that we had made from a rug that his mother gave us when she came back from Peru. We couldn't find a place for it in the house, and then we were trying to figure out the right fabric for this ottoman. And I told Mandy, our designer, I was like, wait a minute, I have this rug that David's mom gave us. Would it be weird if we try to turn that into the ottoman? And so now it's you know, it's like such a huge centerpiece for this living room, and I love it so much. And it just reminds me of her every time we're in here. I love it.
We ready?
I believe in you.
This is I can actually take credit for this contribution to the house.
100%.
This wallpaper is the one decision I made. So this is actually designed by Matt Ritchie and Jorma Taccone of The Lonely Island, who's a fellow Berkeley High School graduate. It's got just a whole bunch of inside baseball references to the Bay Area. Mac Dre, E40, Dennis Richmond. My favorite one is Dennis Richmond, who was a news anchor, local Channel 2 news anchor. You really have to be essentially my age and from the Bay Area to know who that is. It's a deep cut. Alice Waters is on there, Too Short is on there. Joe Montana is on there. It's a Super Bay specific wallpaper, and it also apparently looks good in a powder room.
Everybody that comes to our house at one point or another uses this room. And so every time, every single person comes out and says, yo, that wallpaper.
It's
And I'm
true.
like, it was him.
Everybody likes it.
One of the biggest projects, and kind of one of the only rooms that we renovated in the home, there was a very different kitchen here originally, and the reason we never eat in the dining room is because everybody ends up here, and it was kind of the one room of the house that I didn't love. It was all white, it was all marble, and it had like upper cabinets, and we took all those down and had these amazing brass shelves installed, and we painted the lowers green. But I think the end result is amazing, and it's such a focal point of the house artistically, but I also think just everybody walks straight in the front door and into this room and pulls out a chair and sits down, and we sit here for hours. We did the other night. But yeah, this is 100% the heart of this home. Just fits in perfectly now.
It's close to the bar also. Which
Oh yeah,
is
we did
important.
make a bar. This used to be a
proximity.
desk that we didn't use, so that we turned it into a bar, which we use a lot. Let's go upstairs. Oh, I forgot about this. This is all you.
This is a big old punch card clock from like the late 19th century, I think. But then Emmy's brilliant idea was
Yes. This is, so we didn't know what to put here, so I found actual punch cards. And now when we have friends come to visit, they sign a punch card. And it's just an amazing reminder. We've got amazing friends and family, and just so grateful for them.
Before you go upstairs, just take a look in here right quick. This was Emmy's quarantine project. This is not wallpaper. She spent several days on a ladder hand painting each of these little black hash marks.
I mean, I had the time.
She did. I thought it was crazy until it was done, and now I think it's totally beautiful. We also spent a ton of time here. It's actually such a functional room. Do so much writing in here.
This is actually one of my favorite features of the house is the runner on these stairs. We decided to get a bunch of rugs and have them all fused together to make one long runner that's like totally unique to us and different. And also the stairs are the first thing you see when you walk in the front door. So it just kind of introduces us and our style
Sets a tone.
to you. You can't miss it. Can't miss it. And these are recycled coffee bags. There's a lot of conversations about what we were gonna do on this wall because it's so huge, and it is, there's just a lot of open space, and we ran through a ton of ideas and couldn't really figure out what to do. And then I was in London and I was at a flea market with a friend, and there was a vendor who only sold coffee bags. And they were all, obviously they're all different and unique, and it's like a huge part of this front entrance, and I love it so much. And the funny story is, after I came back, we went to our local coffee shop to get coffee, and we needed one more. I bought 5, but it wasn't enough, and so I asked the girl, I was like, hey, do you guys happen to have any coffee bags in the back? And she was like, oh, let me go check. And she ran in the back and brought out this one and opened it up, and right on the front it said Oakland.
That was a little bit of magic, finding an Oakland coffee bag. Can you tell? Oakland's an important factor in my life.
Welcome to our designated press room. If you have seen either of us in an interview in the past 2 months, it has been in this room. This was supposed to be an accent wall wallpaper, and clearly that wasn't enough for me, and so we did the whole room. This is actually Barbara's room. This is Debbie's
Yeah, my mom
room.
calls this her room. In fact, every time it has showed up on TV in the last couple of months, she's been like, "There, you're in my room again."
It's a perfect size for her. It's a perfect size. This is our other guest room. We call this the blue room. Has a very beachy, soothing feel to it. A lot of friends have stayed in this room. This room has kind of been home for a lot of our friends, and I think that's why we bought this house and have made it so homey. And also the macrame, not to like boast, but the macrame over the bed I made.
It's another Emmy Raver original.
Because we got time. So I like a craft. What can I say? Now,
Moving on.
our room.
This is where it all goes down. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
This is where it all happens.
Okay,
By
he's
which
no
I
longer
mean,
allowed to be part of this tour. Get out.
I mean that she goes to sleep and I eat cookies on
Yes.
the floor.
I go to bed at a sensible hour, 9, and then he stays up till 3 in the morning eating cookies.
But I learned to do it on the floor so I don't leave evidence in the bed.
I know every day that he's been mousing about in the middle of the night. Every day. This is our amazing bed that I completely fell in love with. The first time in my life I've ever had a king bed. But I think obviously our favorite part of this room is that the Obamas sitting on sandwiches is the art that we have chosen for our bedside tables, because why wouldn't you want the Obamas sitting on sandwiches? Check out Celebrities on Sandwiches on Instagram, and you could have your very own Barack sitting on a tuna melt. This is actually another outtake from Joanna DeGeneres' photo shoot that she did of us. That's downstairs as well. She was like, I love that you didn't like any of the actual photos I took and only wanted the outtakes. I think that's because we can't take ourselves seriously. So I love that photo. It makes me really happy.
These chairs are pretty new too. We love that they are all different. You don't sort of know what you're gonna get when you order them. They just ship.
No two are the same. And so I was hoping they were gonna be very, very different, and they are. And they're also so cozy. And this is a good reading moment. This is, I think, also where he may or may not snack while I'm asleep. Maybe.
It's possible. Welcome to the backyard. Did you miss us?
It's his favorite
It's a long
spot.
trip from upstairs.
It's his and Luna's favorite spot.
This is mostly where I am. I'm only wearing clothes because you're here. Generally speaking, I'm just in my bathing suit, floating around in the water.
Straight out of bed, into his swim trunks, into the pool. We spend so much time out here. It's a little breakfast, nookie moment, sun tanning. That's actually a perfect spot for naps, is the cabana over there. You can find David over there at least once a day. I'm just pointing out all of his napping spots. I think that's pretty
It's a little bit, I nap a lot.
He naps a lot. This actually was a project we took on with Mandy as well. This entire backyard used to be grass, and it just was a space that we didn't really use. And so we kind of wanted to create an oasis and kind of a way to kind of use the entire space. And so we decided to build this deck and an amazing fire pit that we are at constantly. And I don't think you're supposed to make marshmallows on a fire pit, but we do.
Turns out it works.
Turns out it works. AD!
I gotta take another nap. You've taken up enough of my very busy schedule. I gotta go lie down.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Bye. Say bye, Luna.
Bye.
Hey, AD. I'm Emma Roberts. Come on in and check out my house. We are in the living room. What I love about this room is that there's tons of new stuff, but also we've reused a lot of stuff from another house. Emily and Louisa Pearson Ward, I told them basically to just do their magic. But what I love about this house is it speaks for itself, where it is like a grown-up dollhouse. It's very storybook. And when we were moving in, it was just me and my son. And so I was just like, I want this to be our house that is just our style and filled with our memories and our love. This room really gets used when people are over, or if it's the holidays. Things get moved around for a Christmas tree over there. But I just love to actually sit here and read on this couch. This is kind of like my quiet room. The fireplace used to be like mirrored and kind of foggy, and I thought it was chic until somebody told me it wasn't. And I immediately was like, we need to fix this fireplace. And so they came up with the idea of matching the chairs to the fireplace and also tying in the stripe on the couch. So I feel like there can never be enough stripes or fringe or tassels in a house, which I know people would disagree with, but I love it. Now we are at the bar. They found this amazing antique bar that I'm so obsessed with, and vintage chairs, vintage bar. It's very, very chic. My staple drink that I make for people is pouring champagne. So this is Daniel Day-Lewis. I was at an Oscar party one year and they had these on the table and I just really needed it. And so I carried it around all night to realize it was decor and it's empty and I probably shouldn't have taken it. But I really made good use of it and people love it. It's a great conversation starter. So hi, Daniel Day-Lewis. Now we're moving over to my little office area. And Pearson Ward always laughs because I need a pin board. I love an inspo board. It's always in progress. That's what I love about an inspiration board, is it's never done. My favorite bookstore in the East Village, they display the books like that in little baggies pinned to the wall. So a little copy from them. And yeah, just stuff that I love is on there. And then stuff I really love is behind me. I'm really excited to show you guys. The doll wall. I have to move this to get optimal looks at the dolls. Okay, so these are the Dollykins. I'm madly obsessed with them, in love with them. She was my first one and still my favorite. but I do love all of them. And then my most recent addition is Leggy Jill, and I got her for my birthday, and I was looking for Leggy Jill for over a year, and then my boyfriend surprised me with her. I took her out of the box, which he did not approve of. I know I take my dolls out of the box, which people get very up in arms about, but I feel like if you're gonna collect dolls, you may as well enjoy them. We have Blythe, obviously. She's my favorite, my original girl. Like, she is really how I fell in love with dolls. And then this is a fun one. This is like Drunk Cowgirl Barbie, and I heard about her and I thought that she didn't really exist and she was a joke, but it turns out she does exist, and she's just amazing. Like, look at her. She's fabulous. She's having the time of her life. When I was younger and people would be like, aren't you scared your dolls are gonna come to life? I'm like, I hope that every night, that they'll come wake me up. It would be so thrilling. We are in the TV room, and I would say we spend the most time in here. It is the comfiest couch, very comfy chairs, TV behind you, and my son has his toys in that chest. So this is where I'll watch TV, he'll play, we'll both play. We love it in here. You're seeing it at its absolute cleanest. It's never looked like this before. And then we have what is the start of a little Joni Mitchell shrine, dare I say. I love her so much. And then we have the overflow of books over here. Also some more dolls. This little Bride of Frankenstein by Mob Graves, who is one of my favorite artists. This is a book I actually gave as a gift to my ex, but then when we broke up, I saw how much it was worth and I kept it. I do love Restoration Hardware, and I've owned this light many times in many houses, and it always works in one room or the other. This chair was my timeout chair as a kid. It had to come with me to my houses, and now my son sits in it and loves it. And so it just makes me kind of laugh to myself when I think about it. And we still call it the timeout chair. Like, my mom will be like, oh my God, the timeout chair. But yeah, she's seen it all. The kitchen was the place that at first I was like, it needs the least amount of stuff. And I realized that that was not true. I would never even think to put an island here. And when they told me, I was like, okay, let's do it. And it completely changed how we live in the kitchen, because I'm sure it's, the age old thing where everyone's like, why, when you have a party, is everyone in the kitchen? And it's annoying. But this actually, it makes it so it's fun to hang out in here. I have a very fun mug collection. I love Halloween. I love witches. So these were a must for me. This is for Rhodey, little cowboy. These are from Danny Mud Shop, and I love them. They look like cupies. So we have a bunch of these little creamers. These are from Nikki Kehoe, and I don't know, they just bring me joy. Love these on a little breakfast display. Totally cute. And then there's random stuff that I've collected and can't get rid of, like this Princeton College little cup that I never have once used, but I just like knowing she's in there, I collect felted things. This is by Laura Colors, and I got this from her on Instagram. And then these are actually real cereal ads that I found in a bin in this junk store on Martha's Vineyard. And Pearson Ward framed them like this, but I just fell so in love with the idea of having vintage cereal ads in the kitchen. I thought was super cute. We are in Rhodes's room, and when his room was finished, I was like, wait, I want this room. He loves nature and animals, and so I wanted to make his room feel like a little enchanted forest. And they showed me this fabric first, and they didn't need to show me anything else. Pretty much everything in here was the first thing that they showed. The wallpaper on the ceiling with the ducks. Because I remember when I was a kid and I had the glow stars on the ceiling, and my mom at one point had a mural for me on the ceiling, and those memories are so seared into my brain as a kid, just laying in bed looking up at the ceiling. So I wanted to make that special for him. And then of course, Rhodey has his own little library. He loves to read, which makes me so happy. So this was mine, as you can see, Emma, when I was little. And this I remember taking to the sink to brush my teeth with. So of course, Rhodey had to have one with his name on it. And his is cool because it actually comes out as blocks, which he thinks is very fun. I love Hopalong Cassidy stuff. I think it's so cute. One of my favorite vintage stores called Grayford's in Montclair, New Jersey. Hey, Brad. He had this and I bought it for Rhodes's room before I even had this house. But I just knew it was gonna hang in his room wherever we ended up. This is technically my front yard. Even though I'm up in the hills, there's like a flat front yard and backyard for my son to run around. And this gazebo was a big selling point, which, by the way, I should mention, this house was for rent. And I came to look at it and I was like, would they sell it? Thinking they'd say no, but they said yes. So that was kind of funny. But this gazebo they had set up with actually more of like an eating area. And I love it more as like a hang area. You'll usually find me out here talking on the phone. Now we go to the pool. My son loves to do this little trail where he goes up there, and likes to stand on like the most dangerous rock by the jacuzzi, you know, as kids do, so that's pretty fun. I fell in love with this pool area because, yeah, it's not like your typical sleek pool area. It actually like reminds me of being a kid where you would just be like jumping off of rocks or jumping off the side of the house, which you guys shouldn't do that. But you know, everyone when I was a kid like had diving boards and all that, which we're not allowed to have anymore. And so this to me felt like fun in a safe way. Should I just jump in now? We are in the primary suite, and this room, when I walked in and it was done, I couldn't believe it. I love anything floral, especially roses, peonies, pinks, and the fact that they match the headboard to the drapes. I just absolutely died. When it's all shut, it just looks like one big painting, and it's so beautiful and so cozy in here. As I said, cozy is the word I'm always looking for. These vintage lamps, these came from Las Vegas, and again, we needed more fringe. So these I was introduced to. They're made by Pearson Ward cord covers, because how many times are we looking at beautiful pieces and then the cords ruin it? So now we have an amazing solution that you'll see all throughout the house to just cover them with gorgeous fabric. Another genius idea that I did not come up with. Something else I loved that they did in this room is mismatched side tables. And I remember when they brought them in, I was like, I love both of them. Which one are we going to use? And they're like, both. And I didn't know how it was going to look. And now I feel like I need to do mismatched side tables everywhere I go. So we are in my bathroom / my office / my favorite place in the world. There was hardwood floors in here. So I was like, we have to tile the bathroom. And we were just gonna do white, you know, who cares, make it look clean. And then we found this tile, this gorgeous like pomegranate colored tile. And I just fell in love with it and love that we kind of added some pops of pink colored with the curtains to kind of go with the floor. It just all came together so beautifully. I usually sit here at my computer. I do some Zooms. I, read my magazines, write in my notebook. It's so funny because before when I moved in, there was just like a ballet bar on this wall. And I was like, oh, I'll do my at-home bar classes on this bar on the wall. Perfect. No. Clothes were strewn on it at all times. I don't think I did one bar workout on that ballet bar. So I remember after the floor was in and everything, I was like, do you think we could do a vanity? And they made all my dreams come true with it. A bar cart turned bath product holder, I think is very underrated. My little roadie, his room doesn't have a bathtub, so it's cute because he'll take a bath in here, and that's kind of our thing at night where we go from his room or the living room and run into here and have bath time. As you can see, his toys are down here. If I have free time, I'll come in here and just really take some time for me and decompress. I mean, as soon as you guys leave, I'm gonna take a bath and be like, I hope that went okay. Thanks, AD, for coming to check out my dolls and my books. I hope you had fun, and see you next time. Bye.
Hey AD, I'm Demi Lovato. Welcome to my home. For this house, I wanted to make each room very special and different from the next. When curating the collection of art for this house, I wanted to highlight emerging artists from underrepresented communities. I was able to get really creative with Argyle Design. I had such an amazing time designing this house with them. This is actually my reception room, kind of formal living room. I wanted it to feel very maximalist and creative. There's like this amazing piece by Hannah Epstein called White Pumps. I love my yellow couch. I think it brightens up the room. I love the rug from House of Hackney. We've got this like statue in the corner that I think just gives it a really chic touch. The chandelier in this room is designed by Mui and it's called Meshmatics. And I think what's really beautiful about this is it brings a soft touch to the rest of the room. Literally the purpose of this room is just to give it that wow factor when people walk into the house. I literally spend no time in here, but my dogs love it. Speaking of my dogs, I want to show you where they spend the most time. This is my pup area. This is where they go to the bathroom, they spend their time, this is where they eat their food. The design out here, I wanted to keep it really cute and zen for them. I added really cute touches with these play dogs and the matching chairs, and then they have their little portraits out here as well. This is where I get ready. Having a glam room is really important to me because I spend so much time getting my hair and makeup done for jobs and everything. And so I wanted this room to feel really cozy, really fun, with a lot of energy so that when I get ready to go to work, I'm in a really good mood and feeling great. Some of the things that I love about this room is this neon sign. It says, "You're never fully dressed without a smile." And it's actually kind of funny because I used to do beauty pageants, and that was the song that I would sing when I first started out. It's just kind of always stuck with me. It's such a true statement. Like, you can put all the makeup on in the world, but unless you're feeling good about yourself, then it's gonna show. So it's just like a cute little reminder to stay positive. This is the ribbon chair by Pierre Paulin. And this is a custom mirror that we got really big for this room by Gustav Westman. I wanted the palm trees wallpaper because I just thought it reminds me of the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I just love this color combo, the hot pink and the dark green. I just think it's, I don't know, it's cozy. Sometimes I have friends that come over and they'll sit on this couch and they'll watch me glam and I'll play music, and it's just I keep a really good energy in here so that before I go to work, I'm feeling great. This is my living room and I really, really love it. We just painted it this eggplant, deep, rich color. And what's cool about this is the light from the backyard actually illuminates the room. You'd think that if you painted a room a dark color that it would actually make it feel enclosed and kind of cold, but it actually warmed up the room and brings in the natural light really well. I love the contrast between the color of the walls and the color of the couch. I have a lot of really cool little details about this room that I love having. So right there, I have a little mushroom chair. These were imported and they are crystal lamps. This is zebra onyx and it's actually all crystal. There's also a leather pig right here because why not? So this table is actually a bonsai tree, and it's by an artist named Willie Darrow. It's the same artist that actually had the crystals on the wall piece, and I just love how there's so much floral aspects to the art. It's really important to keep the energy and life alive in the house by doing so. This piece is by Lola Rose Thompson, and what I love about this piece is it brings so much color into this room. There's a lot of deep and rich colors, but in here you've got rainbow, and it's just really beautiful. I love how it lines up the room. I have these really cool light fixtures that are actually made by pieces of onion and resin. So these are my onion lamps, and they were a vintage find. This is my kitchen, still really light, good energy, and I wanted to keep it distinct from the living room, so we have this amazing Gucci wallpaper. It's really important to pay attention to details. We have these like handles that are really fun. What I love about this space are the colors that this brings and the contrast that it has to the living room. I think that having a giant island is really important when you're hosting. And I like to cook with my friends, so this is like a really central piece in the house. It's a great place for hosting, and then after we cook, we like to go down to the theater and watch movies. I like to keep the details brass in the kitchen. These salt and pepper shakers are really cute. Just like fun little details are all around the house to keep it fresh, young, creative, and also cozy at the same time. So this is my little breakfast nook area where I like to eat the breakfast that I cook because I am really good at breakfast. This piece right here is actually by Luke Chiswell, and it's a destroyed skateboard that says pretty on it. I love the dichotomy of something being distressed and it saying pretty at the same time. What I love about this piece, it's the Vertigo lamp by Milia, and it's actually iridescent, so if you look closely, it's got this like really beautiful finish to it that I think is a really nice touch and kind of matches the psychedelic theme of the rest of the house. I wanted to show you this really fun hallway that I have. The wallpaper is actually from the same wallpaper company as the reception room by Porter Telio. And we also have these pieces right here that are by Gucci Ghost, and it's really fun to take selfies in this mirror because you've got Gucci Ghost in the background. This is my dining room. What I love about it is it's got like this kind of mermaid feel to it. I have a lot of incredible art pieces in here. It's also like one of the first things you see when you come into the house. Also, a little fun detail in this room is I have these chairs that are actually too small to sit in, but they look great. I want to take you upstairs and I will meet you up there. I'm gonna take my really fun, colorful mirrored elevator. That was me in my spaceship. That's what I call it, because it's just really futuristic and fun. One of my favorite rooms is up here, and I want to show you what I call my shroom room. This is my cloud chandelier. One of my favorite things about this cloud chandelier is that if you're playing music, it changes colors to the beat of the music. So you'll see a lot of art pieces by one of my favorite artists, Jen Stark, and she actually did a custom mural on the ceiling. Also, another cool thing about this room is on the windows, there's this window pane, and when the light comes in, it reflects like rainbow, almost kaleidoscope type of light on the room. What's so fun about having this room is that it's a really cool hang for me and my friends. We can watch TV, we can just chill in here, we have a lot of good conversations, and it's also really nice to just listen to music and feel creative in this room. How I unwind after a long day, sometimes I come in here and I play guitar. Other times I come in here and I lay down on this really cozy bed. I love to binge watch. Right now I'm rewatching Dexter. I like to spend my lazy time in my room. So you'll see more crystals in my house. You've got this big ass selenite up there. You've got this big ass amethyst. And you'll actually see on all the lamps in the room, they have amethyst crystals as well. This is the main bathroom. You have some of my favorite light fixtures in here. This chandelier kind of reminds me of like dripping wax or resin, which is really cool, but it's actually glass. And you have this other really cool mirror, which looks like it's dripping, and I love that. I have so much clothing in my regular closet that I had to make my guest room into another closet. You might see some of my favorite outfits in here. You've got this like Joshua Tree kind of desert vibes in here. I love it. I think it's really fun to come in here and see old pieces that I haven't worn in a while. This is my backyard, and what I love about my backyard is it's still so colorful. You've got the yellow umbrellas, you've got really cool seating areas, you have the bar and grill, but I think my favorite part of the backyard is actually my squirrels that I feed, and they're right here. That's Teddy, and that's also Teddy. I named them all Teddy because I can't tell the difference. They'll actually come up to me and eat out of my hand. This is my in-ground trampoline. I love jumping on the trampoline, and I wanted one in my backyard, but I didn't want the netting to look tacky, so I put it in the ground. I would jump on the trampoline, but I'm not wearing a bra, so that's not happening. My studio is a very sacred space to me. It's some place where I feel like I can come in, I can completely be myself, be totally vulnerable, and just write about what I'm feeling. The studio, I wanted to keep it light and airy and like a very kind of creative environment. I recorded most of my last album in quarantine, and I did it right in my home studio, which was really nice. And I've actually recorded a song from my new album called Forever for Me, and I wrote it in here, I sang it in here. This is where I get creative. Okay guys, thank you so much for coming to my home. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you later. I gotta get to the studio, so you don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
Hi, AD. Welcome to my home. I'm so excited. I'm so honored to be doing this show. I'm a huge fan. This is my dog, Momo. Say hi. So I spend a lot of time out here trying to keep plants alive. This one is my newest project. I forget what it's called, but these little fluffy babies on the end keep changing colors, and they're gonna get darker, and then they're gonna get like silvery. This one's kind of happening already, and I'm kind of obsessed with them. But come on in, check out the rest of the house. So I bought this house about 8 years ago when I was pregnant with my son, and it looked a lot different. I've actually remodeled it twice because I have a small addiction. Luca, do you want to come down here with me? This is Luca. We're gonna go into your room next. Maybe you can do the tour. There's donuts in the kitchen. Good talk. So one of my favorite pieces of furniture in my house is this credenza. I think it's from the 50s, and it reminds me of a corset. One of the first big purchases I ever made in my life. I think I was 18 or 19, and I thought about it for days and days and days. And then my mom always likes to point out that I have completely destroyed it by like coming in the house and setting my coffee down or my water. And it definitely gets pretty beat up in this household. But we live in this house and we're hard on this house, and I think that's what makes it feel like such a home. These crystals are constantly changing because my son likes to take them and, I don't know, play some kind of like Marvel superhero adventure. I'm constantly losing crystals somehow and finding them in random places or never finding them at all. These chairs were just recently in my bedroom, and no one could ever see them because people don't usually go hang out in your bedroom. This is our formal living room. This is also from Crate and Barrel, which I'm obsessed with. This is Luca's new favorite hiding space. We play hide and go seek. It's a new favorite game around here. I can't believe he fits in there. You can just hang out in there for a little bit. We're gonna keep on moving. These chairs are from Kelly Wearstler, and I love them. These are definitely chairs I'll probably have forever, and I love sitting in here and taking meetings. But also the kids spend a lot of time in here. I don't know why, I wish they wouldn't. Hence the Sharpie on my table. This cactus, I'm really trying to spend a lot of time on getting the watering right because I recently murdered a cactus that I got myself for my 30th birthday. She was the same age as me and she lasted and then I killed her. So I'm gonna try really hard not to do that with this little beauty. I never thought I was gonna be that person that has picture frames everywhere of my family and then you have kids and it just sort of happens. So this was the day my daughter was born. This is my mom when she was younger. I think we look a lot alike. This is this really amazing young artist from California. Her name's Kate Hall. I love this. She finds vintage bed sheets and puts like multiple layers on top. It's so incredible. I love it. Here's baby Luca. Oh, my daughter really likes to sit and charge up on this crystal. She doesn't really need any more charge. She has a lot of charge. And here is where we spend most of our time. It always looks this fancy in here. These pillows always look like this, and I always have fresh flowers and no kid stuff around. That's what it always looks like. This is definitely the heart of the home. It's right near the kitchen. I do a lot of cooking. The shelves are filled with all the kids' toys, so usually it's all over the floor in here, and there's like dogs running around. It's chaos, which is just the way we like it. We really spend a lot of time watching TV as a family, and I have zero regrets about that and zero guilt about that. I love this TV. It's called The Frame. It's a Samsung and it looks like a photograph. So you don't even know that it's actually a TV until you turn it on. You can get different colored frames to go around. I chose black because there's quite a bit of black in this room. And you can change out the picture to be like your family photos or whatever you want. If you're into photography, you can like put your own stuff up. This one's called The Open Sky, but there's literally like over 1,000 paintings or photographs to choose from, which is really cool because everyone has a different style. I recently got this crazy piece of art by Matthew Palladino, and it's very bright and colorful and pink. Like I mentioned, I love pink. The fireplace that was here was very, very ugly, and I was like, I just want to be able to like have garland and like bay leaves and Christmas. Kind of has like a mid-century modern vibe to it, and I love the exposed firewood and hanging out. We hang out there a lot. When this living room is full of people, it's a good spot to like perch. This is my kitchen. It's very close to the living room, which is really convenient that this is like one big open space. And my favorite part about my kitchen are my crazy tiles. This was one of the first things that I found that I felt like, oh my God, I have to have those when I was out shopping for materials when the kitchen was being remodeled. It was a very bold choice and it seemed really loud, but now it's like my favorite part of the house and I love talking about it and everyone's like, oh my God, I never would have thought to do that. So it really worked out. Before you guys came, I was just making sure that my daughter hadn't taken bites out of the fruit because her favorite thing to do is take a bite, put it back. Take a bite, put it back, take a bite, put it back from every piece of fruit. So you usually have to like turn them so her little bite marks don't show. This is a huge, important part of the house, especially during quarantine when I was a second grade teacher. I did a lot of wine drinking and a lot of cocktail making then. I love this piece. I got this at this really cool place in LA called Gallery Half. And the thing that's epic about this table, it's just one solid piece of wood. So there's no breaks in it and it's quite beat up. So I don't feel like we could do anything to it at this point. And that gives me a lot of peace. And this piece is Lindsay Edelman and I love it. It kind of reminds me of like some modern space thing. So this is the kids' playroom. This used to be a formal dining room and we didn't use it. So we made this a kids' room. I'm a little afraid to open the cabinets because like just might come pouring out. This is really sweet actually. Luca and I, at night, we say, I love you all the way. And so I had this made for his playroom. And since we've been doing school, we added a computer. These are his fish that I thought were gonna die. I was like, yeah, of course we can have them. We're on like year 3 of these same fish. But now I'm quite attached to them and they're so social. Like they'll come up and just like hang out and stare and watch you. Where like most fish I feel like swim away. I always like to think they're like saying hi to me. And we also have a crested gecko, which is a new addition. Actually, it was my idea to get him. His name is Chip.
So this is pretty much the only space I have in the house that belongs to me. This is where I hide from my kids and lock the door. And I have this really nice vanity space. I love this so much. One of my friends, Blonda, is an amazing artist, and she sketched this picture of Luca when he was little, brushing his teeth. I recently bought a camera. She's kind of just been living there. I'm getting used to her. So my husband actually bought me this guitar. Her name's Oreo. I don't know how anyone plays guitar. It's the hardest thing on the planet Earth. Here's my lovely bathtub. I love to take baths. This space, actually, I decided to have a home birth with my daughter, so I had her right here in this room, and it was very peaceful and a lovely way to meet my baby for the first time. This is my closet, and I have a little bit of a shoe obsession and a bag obsession and a coat obsession, actually. It's very peaceful and constantly like rearranging things, and it's never usually that clean. So come into Banks's room. I had a lot of fun doing this. I don't know, I thought I was gonna play it so much more cool, and I went full-blown pink. Her bathroom's my favorite part. You wanna come check that out? This whole entire wall is tiled pink for her, and the gold hardware is really sweet with that, and her little vanity. Luca got kicked out of this room when Banks was coming, and he was pretty upset about it. I'm like, I promise your room's gonna be so sick. I'm gonna make it amazing. I was like, please trust me, please, I'm gonna make it cool. And I think I succeeded. So this was the guest room, and it's quite a big space, and I tried really hard to utilize more of how tall the ceiling is and thinking about him getting older and how this room can evolve. He has this epic slide that the kids love and play on all the time. They go up a ladder and like run across the top and fly down this, and it makes a ton of noise, but that's why you have kids, right? Here's his bed. And there's 2 bunk beds up there and this net that you can roll across that's super sturdy. Luca made this artwork in the beginning of quarantine. I would have to agree with him. Coronavirus is stupid. Here's this cool bathroom, really clean. These tiles are these like new concrete tiles that everyone's putting in, and I love them. I think they're so playful, they're so energetic. This is our backyard, and we spend so much time here playing and eating dinners and swimming all the time. I was a gymnast growing up, and so we have this really cool in-ground trampoline that Luca spends almost all day on. Do you want to show us your flip? Yeah! We also have a water slide out here. I like to say it's for the kids, but it's really for me. I use it the most. I love it. And there's a little tree house. Here's my little herb garden. Trying really hard to have a green thumb. I just don't, but I'm working at it. It's really convenient to not have to go to the store to get like chives or something. And the newest addition, so this is actually our quarantine hang space when we do have friends over. The chairs are like 6 feet apart and no one has to be close to each other, and we can see some of our friends. So we have 6 chickens right now, and I have hatchlings inside, but they're not big enough to be in the coop yet. So it's been a really fun project for me. Hi guys, hi. They're just starting to get used to me. I come in and give them treats every day. Hi. I got one. This is Patsy, one of my sweetest little chickens. She hasn't laid an egg yet, but hopefully soon. So this has been a really fun project for me, and I spent a lot of time out here hanging out with them because I'm a dork. Thank you so much for coming into my home, Architectural Digest. I'm a huge fan, like I said before. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and see you again soon. All right, you ready to go back in, girl? I know you want your friends.
Hey, D, I can't believe you're here. I watch these videos all the time, and now I'm in one. Crazy. Come on into my beach house. Let's start here. This is kind of my everything room. It's living, dining, hangout, stories before bed. It's the whole schlabeel. This is Lucy's piano, gift from Ellen Barkin for Hanukkah last year. She actually uses it. Not well, but you know, she's 3. This is the kitchen where I burn my son's bacon. He calls me the burn monster, in fact. I take it as a term of endearment. I am not a great cook. I'm gonna be real with you. However, one thing I do know how to do is barbecue. And I have a beautiful barbecue right out there. I throw 4 or 5 dinner parties a summer. The vibe is super informal. We set up a buffet right here. We have seating for 14 at this table and seating for another 8 outside. I love these doors. I love the vibe. It's the first thing I do in the morning is come downstairs and open the doors and let the day begin. I just think it's spectacular. The sound of the ocean for me is so therapeutic. You know, the sound of my children screaming usually is ringing through the house, but also the background is the ocean and the Grateful Dead. My apologies, or you're welcome, depending on your point of view there. I've been coming out to the Hamptons for over 30 years. I have a lot of really close old friends who are out here. And the vibe of this house, it is a green light for all of my friends to have beach access and just a place for all of us to hang out. I love walking down to my beach, right down there, and seeing it full of my friends, which is also part of the reason why my refrigerator is always full of bottles of rosé. I love this living area. It's super informal. It is super cozy. These chairs are Brazilian, as is this couch. I have to say, you will find at the end of the night, me in this chair and one kid here and one kid here. This is our story place, and it just works perfectly. We can all just kind of fall apart in these chairs together at the end of the day, and it's just magic. It's a great vibe. You know, I've always been attracted to bold colors, and in all of my homes, that's what you're gonna find. We found this little old table, got it for next to nothing at Beal and Bell in Greenport. This coffee table, I think, is really cool. The kids use it as a place to color. So this is a piece of art by Peter Dayton, and he's a surfer himself. And it basically reads like a flattened out Hobie surfboard, and I love it. I love yellow. The ocean is super important to me. I like to start the day by jumping in the ocean. I like to end the day by jumping in the ocean. The ocean is my absolute therapy. When I'm not in the ocean, I am in my jacuzzi. Kajuzzi, as my son Ben calls it. So this is the Kajuzzi deck. This is where we start our days usually. You know what? I got no problem giving the kids breakfast right out here. Throw the TV on, listen to music. One of my favorite things in the entire house is this MaxLam table. I think it's so cool. That jacuzzi gets so much use. And one of the great things about the design of this house is that it really is built as a beach house. And 2 things I want to point out. The floor of the deck, there are spaces in between, so we never have to sweep the sand from the deck. The sand just goes through. Also, I can come straight from the beach and go up that spiral staircase to my outdoor shower, which is a total joy. And because I plan to have this house for the rest of my life, when I am no longer able to walk up the stairs, I plan to turn that spiral staircase into a tubular shaped elevator. And that's how old man me is gonna get up and down these stairs. I've thought about it. Don't you love this art? This is by Bernard Fries. I had it in the city for years. And when we built this house, it just seemed absolutely perfect here. It's just bold and beautiful, which is what I like. So I gotta show you this unbelievable wallpaper that's more like a mural. It's flavor paper, and I love the colors. They're so vibrant and trippy, and it really connects the whole house together. This is where the kids' rooms are. I'm gonna leave them be. Let's go upstairs. Hey, Dee, what are you doing in my bedroom? Oh yeah, I invited you here. I love this bedroom. It is no secret why. I mean, this is my happy place. You know what? You cannot beat this view. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It does not matter the time of day. As the summer goes on and starts to get cooler, I start to sleep up here with the doors all the way open, and it's like sleeping under the stars with the sound of the waves. I bought the land that we're on in 2019, and we were in the house, I think 3.5 years later. My big specification to my great architect, Gordon Kahn, was that I wanted the house to be fully indoor, outdoor, and I wanted to be able to see the ocean from as many vantage points as possible, and I also wanted to hear it. I then enlisted my very old friend, Jackie Greenberg, to help create the vibe of the interior so that it was colorful and open and fun and accessible and surprising, and she nailed it. I love my room. I love blue, as you can see, but the blue obviously mirrors the ocean perfectly. We got this wallpaper last year. I think it is wild and crazy, and it's kind of reflective, and you can see it reflecting as you come up from the beach. It's just super cool. Next to my bed is where I keep all my love notes from Ben, and he writes so many. I love you so much. I'm especially proud of this one for being the best daddy ever. Love you so much. This is where the staircase ends, and that's my outdoor shower. I never actually shower inside during the summer. It's always an outdoor shower for me, and I get the sunset over there. It's the perfect spot. And so I love my little primary suite here. I've got my bedroom, and then my bathroom is just behind it, and then the outdoor shower. You have to check out this upper deck. It is the piece de resistance. So this is the roof, and it is just the spot. What can I say? When I have dinner parties, we start with cocktails up here because the sunsets are absolutely magical. I like to do a really long cocktail hour when I have dinner parties, like a couple hours, make people super hungry, loosen them up before we sit down for dinner. I have a lot of meditative nights up here under the stars, blasting music. You know, I grew up in the Midwest. I always aspired to go to the beach. We went to Florida for vacations. So the fact that my kids get to grow up with access to the ocean is just, for me, a fantasy, and I hope it is for them too. Let's talk about the kids' bedrooms. I just absolutely adore them. They're so colorful. They're so playful. Lucy's favorite color is pink. Her bed frame is SJP fabric, and the bedspread is SJP fabric featuring rickrack, and it is the perfect spot for Lucy. She loves that big bed, and it's so sweet, and she's gonna grow up in that room, and I just absolutely love it. Ben's bunk bed is incredible. It is covered in cork, and the wallpaper is Warhol wallpaper. It's very kid-friendly and very cute, and he plays in there, and he loves sleeping on the top bunk, and there's a shelf up there where he keeps all of his special stuff. Their bathroom is just so cool. Jackie designed the tile work in all of the bathrooms, and it's evocative of this Paul Smith swirl fabric that is really emblematic to the Paul Smith brand and that I've always loved. And so reimagined that using spectacular colors that were handpicked by us. And I just think they're fun and beachy and really vibey. All right, AD, guess what? It's kajoozy time for Daddy, and time for you to go. It's been real. Come back anytime.